On this episode of the Drawing with DKG72, we draw Angela Yee. What's up, fam? It's your boy DKG72. I'm back with another tutorial, and in today's tutorial, we're going to be continuing with our Breakfast Club series, and we're going to focus on the lovely co-host of the show, Angela Yee. So a couple things that we're going to address in this show is we're going to address inking techniques, because you guys hit me up in the comments and you said that's something that you wanted to see get more into the inking process. So we're going to address inking, and we're also going to address the challenge of drawing hair, because a lot of the time, especially with black women or women of different ethnicities, tackling hair can be a bit of a challenge. So we're definitely going to tackle those challenges today, and also we're going to tackle just some challenges in drawing the caricature, as far as maybe dealing with a person because Angela Yee is a mixed ethnicities, so she's black and Chinese. So we're going to kind of deal with the challenges that you may face when you're drawing a person that's mixed, and how basically we can do a nice flattering drawing and still make it an effective and enjoyable caricature. So without further ado, let's get into the show. Alright, first off, as always, let's check out the reference drawing that we're going to be working from today. So I think this is her spread from Black Men's Magazine, but it's a nice, it's a cool shot, and it's going to give us a lot of challenges, especially with the curls. And if you notice, Yee has a lot of hair. She has long hair. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge as well. So, and it's very curly too. So let's really get into it and really try to tackle these challenges, especially when it comes to inking and inking in this case a black woman. So that there's some more challenges. So let's get to work real quick. Let's go ahead and get the basis of her head, and then and the basis of the drawing, the basic detail, and then we're going to go over just how I'm going to handle inking. Alright guys, so here's the basic pencil drawing. Just a few things that I wanted to kind of point out. Number one, in dealing with her hair, one of the things that you want to do is you want to try to get the flow. So I didn't go too deep into like trying to go super detailed or draw every strand of hair. What I wanted to do is just get the basic flow of the hair, how it fits on her head. But I don't want it to seem like it's a just a hat sitting on the hair. You want to make it seem natural. You want it to flow natural. So you do that definitely. You definitely want to handle that with your pencil line, and basically just kind of getting that really fun flow, especially in a picture such as this, where some top professionals did hair and everything like that. So they were definitely going for a certain look, which they got, and they definitely wanted to try to mimic that look and try to mimic not so much the harsh details, but more of the fun that came with that look. So it looks like it's, you want to kind of exaggerate it. You want to make it look as epic. It looks nice. It looks epic in the picture. So you want to make sure that it looks just as epic in the drawing. A couple other things. when drawing her head, I kind of went with the modified, I always call it a Disney style, where you draw the circular top for the head first, and then you come down drawing the cheek area down to the chin area and pulling that around. So I call that kind of the modified Disney style. And I definitely think that worked out very well. And if you notice, one of my biggest complaints about my Charlemagne drawing from last week was that I took my eye off the prize when it came to making sure that the proportions were just right. And that's very important, especially when you're doing caricatures of people. So I made sure that, I didn't make her neck too long or that type of deal. Her eyes, on the other hand, my approach there was to go very cartoony. And one of the things that we want to definitely tackle as an artist is making sure that you're paying homage to her heritage without being stereotypical or insulting. All right, guys. So the next challenge, especially with drawing Angela Yee, is not so much anything that particularly has to do with her personally at this point. It's all about techniques and things that we're going to be using in inking this caricature. So first things first, got my trusty inking bundle right here. When I start off inking any type of project, I always look to see which pen I'm going to use. Since this is a large form project, being 8.5 by 11, I think I'm going to use my number 8 Shinhan pen to get inside and kind of do the facial lines and things of that nature. What I try to do is I try to work thin to thick. So what I want to do is I want to do all my thin line work using my number 8. A lot of times I'll use my number 3s for like when I'm doing panel work and things of that nature. But with this one, because it's just her head and we've got so many large areas, the lines are going to be pretty substantial. The line work's going to be pretty substantial. So I want to use that number 8 to really kind of get that bold black line that I need. Now, when I say I'm working thin to thick, that means that this number 8, which is normally my thick line, is going to be my thin line. So what am I going to use for my thick line? That's where my green Tombow comes into play. And this big old brush pen right here is going to put a nice thick black stroke down on the line, on the page. So let's kind of take a look. Let me give you a quick slow example, and then we're going to speed it up. But just kind of give you an example of how I will work this technique as far as inking her face. So guys, in this situation, I'm using my number 8 Shinhan to really get my thin line work in. So what I mean by that is I go in and I just go in and I nail like within the face, just those areas that are going to have, I feel are going to have kind of a thin line going over it. So eyes, eyebrows, things of that nature. Even the outside line to a certain extent. The outside contour line on the outside of her face. And here's the thing. Even though this is my thin line ink pen, so to speak, quote unquote, I still will try to create a thick line and then go thin. Just as a matter of technique and purpose. So now what happens next is that once I've kind of got all my line work in place, I then go with my Fat Tombow, the green, and I can do a thick outside line and work that in and kind of really get a nice balance going on there. So like on her cheek, I will want to work thin thicken it up, then go back thin. And then since I already have that thin line there, it makes it a little bit easier. So when I go in, bam, I don't have to do as much work. And so what I do now is I pretty much use this technique to do handle the inking on her face. So let's speed this up real quick, knock this out, get to the coloring phase. Alright guys, so we got a pretty good representation right now going of the inking process. Just a couple things. If you notice, when I was going in with the brush pen, I would make sure that like under the lip, I made sure the line was thicker, and like under the nose right here in the nose area was thicker, and then kind of like this back area of the nose. Basically, those are things that you want to do to kind of give form and volume to the artwork that you're doing. Kind of indicate shadow areas, things of that nature. So when you're as you're drawing and as you're kind of practicing these techniques, you get better and better at them. So once again, it's all about giving kind of a weight and form and volume to what you're drawing. Definitely went with a thicker, bolder outline, but again, if you notice, I went kind of thick and thin techniques, thick and thin. So that's pretty much the inking process, and we'll get into more of it, and there'll be more tips along the way, but this is pretty much it. Just on a personal note, Angela's looking pretty good right now, so I'm going to do some cleanup, a little extra work, and then let's go ahead and get into coloring her up. Alright, just a quick coloring update. If you notice, I started off with once again with what color is this? Just a pink. It's a nice pink pencil to add tone and kind of a little volume. Now I'm going over with the peach, and then I'm going to go back over with a lighter tan brown to really kind of create the skin tone that I'm looking for with Miss Yee. And then what I'm going to try, hopefully, and see how that works. See how this works is I'm going to try kind of some colored deals with her hair, and try and see if I can get some nice things going there as well. So far everything's looking so good. Everything's looking good. Let's keep going. there it is, the finished piece. Looking good, looking right. Came out pretty decent. Okay, fam. So basically, what we did with the Angela Yee drawing, I think we really accomplished a lot. Um, I hope you guys got a lot out of the. It was a lot of information in this episode. I like that. I really do. Um, I think we really covered inking technique, and we'll cover that some more. So there's other tricks and things of that nature that I'm going to show you guys moving forward. So definitely going to cover more inking, coloring technique. I think we covered a lot of ground on that, and there's always more to learn. Um, Basic caricature design and kind of the basic philosophy of how you really want to do flattering caricatures, and you want to make sure that you kind of show respect to a person's um, background and their history and try to bring that out. And so I think all of those things really worked out, especially with this one, this drawing, and I'm really good. I'm proud. I'm happy with it. So that said, hey, if you guys like this video, hit it with the thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, thumbs down it. Make sure you leave comments in the comment section. Let me know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. Hey, if you got suggestions, let me know those. Always remember, new videos go up every Thursday. Every Thursday, Drawing with DKG 72 show. So look for a new episode next Thursday. It'll be DJ Envy. Going to just go ahead and spoil that right now. So number 3 in our Breakfast Club series. So other than that, guys, hey, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope to see you back next Thursday, and I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.